dishwasher in the background. If you can hear a dishwasher in the background, I'll go and turn it off. And I'm sorry I'm so dark. I haven't been on the Donald Trump tan diet. We've got a problem with lighting. Well, we didn't have it last week because we were around the other way. But anyway, hello.
Hello.
And hello to Alison Page, who's joining us. Well, now, but a little bit later.
She's a brave lady. She's been putting up with it.
Brave, stupid, or both. Yeah.
Probably both.
Probably both. We may also get interrupted by my dog because his junior master is away getting his birthday present in Glasgow, so, and hopefully some Tim Horton donuts for me. So he's fine. We'll just ignore him. Right. There's been a lot. There's been a lot going on this week. Not all of it great.
Had a lot of weather.
Oh God.
I went to walk this morning and it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful.
This was Brodick Castle's already got the daffodils out. I know there's a lot of people with daffodils out, but the first rhododendrons out as well in Brodick Castle, so that's always a good sign. It's like, right, we're going to get some tourists coming over soon. Well,
Look at a tiny, tiny wee rhoddy bush in my garden. It's beautiful.
could you get closer to your microphone and say how tiny your rhododendron bush is, please?
It's not that tiny.
That's better. That's better, thank you. So we've had some. Well, are we going to do the virus thing, or are we going to leave that? Let's get the Aaron stuff out the way first.
Okay.
We've got some news from Mark Bunyan today, and that they are doing a 2-day Aaron Mountain Rescue first aid training session down at the Mountain Rescue, and it's David Bowles' last day today, so he's getting retired after so many. It's over 20 years he's been.
Do they have? I wonder if they have a special thing they do, on the last day. I know in the fire brigade they used to do that. They had things where they would tie you to the ladder and throw you over the tower. Yeah, there was quite a lot of. It's quite brutal.
Suffice to say, they're going to the Ormadale later, so that's pretty.
Yeah, well, that's quite brutal.
That's
yeah.
probably quite.
Oh, the full session's on tonight.
If you've ever been rescued by Aaron Mountain Rescue, get down and buy the guys a drink. There's only 28 of them.
You know what? They deserve it. They do a fantastic job. They're really good.
That's they'll be leaving today or this week or whenever. So that's one thing. The other thing I got through on emails this week, and it's not news to everybody yet, is that our headmaster Barry Smith is leaving this year. I think it's in May. The email didn't say, but I've heard on the grapevine it might be May. So we're looking for a new headmaster, or there's been one allocated. We don't know yet. So. That will be in place, I would think, before the...
I don't imagine that would be a very easy job to do. Although it's a lovely school.
It is a lovely school.
Lovely school.
It is a lovely school. I mean, considering that school was built built on the same model as all the other ones that they've just built, isn't it? And yet there's only 250 kids in it.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to go down there and walk around.
But they're fantastic.
Yeah.
In fact, their pipe band, the pipe band were over on the mainland. I think it was today. So we clip on. They were competing in a competition.
Oh.
Sorry, it just came to mind.
Okay.
They do lots of things.
That's fine. We had some very dubious stuff going on this week. Let me mention the weather. You were talking.
But the hailstorms in between the beautiful weather when
yeah,
I was out
and
for a walk.
we did have a day of weather this week, which everybody had to just go out, and I just saw people wandering outside and just going, this can't be happening. And it was the same day I took this picture, and within half an hour of that picture being taken, it was on UK BBC News at 6 o'clock.
Wow.
So that was really good.
Was he standing in your front garden when that was happening?
No, he was standing in the co-op. But the funny thing about this BBC weather watching thing, and this is one thing I thought we could maybe do as a community, is I think there's only about 3 or 4 of us that do it, and you just need the app, the BBC app on your phone, and you log in, you take a picture, or you don't need to, pictures are good because then they'll pick up on them. You just tell them what the temperature is, and you can tell that from their own app. You just go into the BBC weather app and it says it's 6 degrees. So you go back into the Weather Watchers app, you put 6 degrees in, take a nice picture of Aaron. If we flood the BBC with pictures of Aaron, they're going to wonder what's going on. Now, this has worked before when I was in sports cars. If you flood a website, and so if we had about 300 or 400 people doing it on a regular basis, because if you look throughout Scotland, there's very rarely more than 200 or 300 a day, and I think it would be nice just to flood Aaron completely with these pictures. So,
and you just load the picture up? You
just load it from your camera, and there you go. Sorry, my dog's Dusty. Are you going to come and say hello quickly? No. Yes.
There he is.
Just say hello. Hello. Right, get down. Go on. You'll get a biscuit in a minute.
No, you
Unfortunately, I made OT raisin biscuits, and he's
driving
smelling
him
them.
nuts.
Hello to Robin from watching from South America.
Oh wow.
End of the world, yeah. Well, it's the end of the world everywhere, really, isn't it?
Well, it feels like it at the moment.
So-
We're going to have to go into it, aren't we?
We are going to have to go into it.
I mean, we were sitting earlier saying, you know, what's new? What can we say for news? And the news is
It's just
obviously.
And I messaged Heather in the week saying I was just feeling a bit down about things at the moment, just generally, Aaron and other things. And I think this has just put the nail in the coffin, really, hasn't it, this week? It's not just, it's potentially bad news, it's just the way that people are handling it, and this panic buying is the big thing at the
Well,
moment.
that's why there's a shortage, because everybody's panic buying.
And then
I mean,
you-
some of the videos are going viral of women having fisticuffs in
If you've
a
not s-
supermarket.
If you've not seen
over
that one,
Lural. Seriously.
it's on YouTube. It was Channel 9 in Sydney, and it's three women fighting over, and they've got a 16-pack of toilet roll behind, one of them trying to protect it, and then
It's a trolley
you turn
with
around
toilet
and you've
roll.
got a trolley up to here with toilet rolls, and nobody understands quite why this has happened, and it's happening locally as well. Don't get me wrong. Liz and I have had a chat today and yesterday about it. Liz is saying that there's plenty of supply. That there have been the hand sanitizing gels have been running out every couple of hours or so, but they've got more coming over tonight. Well,
But
that's
then
if the-
again, I
that's
mean,
if the
unless
ferry's
it's
running.
got a high content of alcohol in it, they're not really going to.
But it doesn't matter. You could have said Jaffa cakes will cure coronavirus, and that would.
People would have gone.
It doesn't
for
matter.
cakes.
I mean, toilet rolls have got nothing to do with any symptom. But anyway, everybody knows that. It's been on the news. Just
Is it not to do with the fact that the inners of the
Um,
toilet, Dusty?
get
no,
off
they're still
the
too
biscuits.
hot for you.
You're not having one.
Adorable as you are, it's not happening. Oh.
No, you're not having one. You're not. Do you want a microphone? And you can vent your frustration.
Can you see that face? Look at that face.
I have to put up with that, and he's not supposed to be jumping up on the table because your mother's owner is watching you.
Oh.
Get down. Go on. Get down. Have I got to get you down with a bit over here? Anyway, we'll just leave him. We'll just forget he's there. But I think... no, don't interrupt. I think that's the situation, is that we are just in one of those things at the moment. And I think I was talking to Carol down at the co-op, Carol, and she was saying, well, I was thinking as well, as soon as we get the sunny weather coming here, I think this will just disappear as the flu does. But that's just my feeling. Generally people feel better in better weather. And if it's a virus, it tends to take hold in the winter. So hopefully we're coming into the right
But
time of year.
there are so many people with seasonal flu. I mean, this is a much bigger thing. So I don't know why the concentration is on the coronavirus. There seems to be an awful lot of emphasis on that. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I know. And then just moving off the coronavirus now, there was worse than that, because the end of the world was coming.
We've had that before.
We had
though.
to.
It's finished a few times, hasn't it?
We had to. According to 3 guys in Brodick. Now, I don't have a problem with these guys, but they've got to do it in pedestrianised areas, because if they do it again where they've done it before, they're going to have an accident. One of them nearly got run over. Gina nearly ran one over. We had 3 guys helping you understand the fact that you were going to meet your God.
Has he got a
very quickly.
microphone there?
He's not only got a microphone. When I came out of my office, there were 3 people coming down the hill, and they said they could hear him at the tree line coming down Goat Fell.
So was it a doom and gloom, or was it,
It was just, it was repent your sins and then this guy turned up and didn't help matters at all. I've been waiting for ages, April Fool's joke for that. And I thought, but during that picture, I don't know whether you can see, but during that picture, in front of the pickup that's coming towards me, this is them just grabbing. In fact, they're actually grabbing my ex, and they were just grabbing people off the street. And look at the size of the sign that the guy has in the background. It's a 5-foot sign. I mean, he's going to cause road accidents with it. And I'm glad that the police did actually go down a bit later on.
I think so. With grabbing anyone, that's totally
Dusty,
unacceptable.
I'm going to get rid of the dog in a minute. Could you just push him down, Alison, for me, because your microphone's going to get knocked over. Dusty, get down. He was sleeping fine, and then, of course, this is going to happen, the Blue Peter experience. Anyway, that was that. So, yeah, not in the coronavirus, but we've got to prepare to meet God now as well. So,
But it's not just toilet roll and hand sanitizer. I mean, people are buying up pastas and cereal and UHT milk.
yeah,
It's as if there's,
it's gone a bit nuts. It has gone a bit nuts.
you know.
Oh,
Is
I
that why
forgot.
you're
I
baking
forgot.
all
to
the
show-
cookies? Are you
Do you know what was
just
outside?
stockpiling cookies?
Do you know what was outside my shop last week? A little butterfly.
Ah.
That was on Wednesday as well.
Red Admiral.
A red admiral.
I
Indeed.
get them
It was.
confused. There are two that look very similar, but I checked.
Right, we're going to move on. We're going to
Yeah.
say hello to Virginia. Betty in Virginia. So pleased to be able to do this. Was born and raised in Stevenson, Arran is one of my favourite places. Makes me feel closer to home.
Oh wow!
So there you go. So that's Betty in Virginia. And Charles is asking us to mention the drama. We've got that coming up, Charles. As you're saying hello, Dusty. And Yukiko Johnston is watching. Hi, hello. Get
Hi,
down.
Yukiko. Yuki.
Get down. Go on. You're going to have to go. Hey, get off the biscuits.
Thanks.
Never work with children and animals. You can stay there, but you're not getting one. Oh, actually, you can have one. It'll get you out of the way. Come on. Come around here.
Oh.
I shouldn't feed you at the table. Come around here.
No, shouldn't.
Come around here. They're not the most intelligent species. Irish settlers.
He wants a whole one.
Yeah.
You've got to come. No, I'm not chucking it. No, I'm not.
I'll wait till he comes. No.
Well, all right.
Yep.
Okay. That's
Sawmill.
fine. Sawmill, moving along. It's
Moving quick.
The garden centre's getting there. It's nicely enclosed now. I said to Gavin, you should really get some butterflies in there because it's that sort of place, you know.
Will they not come in naturally?
Well, they will do, but they'll also fly out the ceiling because they've got the skylights in.
Yeah, but you can't hold them in there.
they're
You
starting
can't
to get some stock in there. At the moment.
hostage hold
Yes.
butterflies.
Right, you've turned up. Hello, there's your biscuit. But they are starting to get their stuff grown. And Eric, who was at the Ochrani for so long, is now working for Gavin, and he's been planting cucumber seeds and all that sort of thing. So it's starting to look like a mini Dobbies nearly.
So I don't actually need to plant all my wee seeds now. I can just go up there and get them and start them off in the
Absolutely.
greenhouse.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's tempting.
And
What
of course,
else?
you know, there's Eleanor that does this sort of thing as well. I mean, the co-op get plants in, but
There's also
and there's
MBS and
Whiting Bay as
I
well.
have to say, Susan has a knack of buying things that don't die on me. I'm not that green fingered, but anything I've ever bought from there has managed to survive. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
But it's
Yeah.
good because
I just love garden centres. I've always loved garden centres. I've been growing up in garden centres. My parents.
Did they grow you in a garden
My
centre?
parents used to take. My parents used to take me in, stick me in a grow bag while they went and got the strawberries. Yeah, yeah. We used to go strawberry picking and all that. You don't do that anymore.
Well, they used to have it in Whiting Bay.
No.
They don't do it now.
That there's a tentative link there.
Oh.
Strawberry picking was done by a lot of Europeans, and the Europeans aren't coming over as much now because of this darned Brexit. So we have a little bit of news from one of the newspapers picked up a story.
Oh, it was the Herald actually picked
Right.
it up, and they did an interview with Linda Johnson from Ochrani. And this is actually huge. It's a big thing because they've had to postpone the refurbishment of the main hotel, which was a big investment into the hotel and the staff accommodation because of the plunge in applicants from the European Union. So about a third of their staff are from European Union, and people are all very concerned about how this is going to go.
And of course, the Brexiteers will now say that's great. It will mean all the jobs go to British people, but that's
It's
not
not really-
always the case.
It's not really, and it's going to affect hospitality right across the board. Well, not just hospitality.
No, it's
quite
all sorts of
few.
jobs.
A few. So it's a big.
It's the same story as you get in a much larger scale in Los Angeles. 55% of LA is now Spanish. They're Mexicans, and they do all the menial jobs. And this was never thought about. When Trump started building his wall.
But as Linda says in the article, Arran is thriving. It's a thriving destination, and visiting numbers are growing. So we need the staff to man that, you know, to be there to facilitate it. So it's a big concern.
Yep. Yep.
So don't know where that's going to go. Really don't know.
Well, just see how it pans out. Right, have we got any more news?
News. What do we have?
That was it. Godman in Brodick. I love Heather's notes. I won't. It's all right. I won't quote. While Heather's at home typing these notes out, I'm sitting on my couch watching Columbo. No, you're not getting any more. No, that's us. So we can introduce Alison properly. Hello.
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 Thank you for coming.
I'll crank you up a little bit.
My pleasure.
Lots on as usual with you.
It's just been a really busy week. It's been
Very busy.
day and all sorts of things going on.
Could you? I don't know whether you can.
Whenever I go onto
I'll
Facebook,
turn it up a
Alison,
bit.
it's that Alison is here. Alison is in another school. She's on the mainland. She's doing a tour of schools. You know, it's fantastic. I don't know. You must be jet lagged when you come back here.
I'm tired this week. It's been a particularly busy week, but a lovely week. Very enjoyable.
Is that because is it World Book Week or?
It was World Book Day on Thursday, but lots of schools invite authors in during that week, so I was very happy to go in and see all the children and read Corrie's Capers to them. It's fab.
Wonderful. And these are the books here. Can you see these?
You've got your first one. I'm quite familiar with these now, aren't I?
You are, because my books are printed through Games Business and Graphics.
And we've got the Tattoo
I didn't
Touri.
realise you actually printed the books. That's fabulous.
What do you
They're
think
locally
What do you think I
printed.
do for a living?
Absolutely.
Do you think I just sit there and
Make
sell?
cookies.
Yeah, and tell my dog to get down all the time and
Oh,
stuff.
he's cool.
You can
He's
sit
cool.
there.
He's eyeing
Right.
the cookie up.
I know he is.
He's eyeing
Yeah.
the cookie up.
Um,
What brought you to Arran? What brought you over here?
Well, I holidayed here as a wee girl, as you do. So I've been coming since the 60s, really.
Wow.
And then when I met my husband John, we weren't married at that time. It was my short for the timeshare at Ochrani, and said, "Do you want to come with me?" And he went, "Oh, I've never been to Arran
Oh
before."
wow.
I said, "Oh, come on over then." And that after that visit, we decided we'd get a place to live here. So been on Arran and Mumlash for 13 years now.
Oh, never look back, do you, when you move over here?
No.
It's wonderful.
Super.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
you do.
No,
Sorry.
you
I've never looked forward.
So your dog, I'm assuming the Westie is Corrie.
Corrie is my Westie, yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
That's one of Natalie's pictures. We better
Oh,
credit
great.
Natalie very quickly.
Please do.
Yeah, we've got Natalie's picture there of Corrie
So-
in the heather.
So how did you get into writing about Corrie's Capers?
Well, really, it all started when I was very limping, because I did have a job on the mainland for the first 5 years we'd bought the house here.
Wow. Was that when the ferry used to sail?
It absolutely did. And can I just remind people, 10 years ago, I used to pray that ferry wouldn't go on a Sunday night, so I wouldn't have to go to London on a Monday. And it always went. I think there was once in 5 years it didn't sail, so it is something new.
It's very
not
different
It
now.
is
Even today, it was fine. The forecast was fine, and then all of a sudden this morning there was a technical fault, and they are hoping that the ferry is going to go backwards and forwards, and it will come back to Brodick. For some reason, they have to fix this fault in Brodick, which is, to me, it's unusual. But anyway, they're bringing it back to Brodick on an
I was
unscheduled.
just excited this
8:30.
morning because it was green. It's the first time it's been on green,
Mhm. Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
that must have happened in the
Mhm.
time it took me.
If you're planning a holiday this year, don't worry. We'll have 2 ferries by the time most people have come.
Yeah, it's fine.
We'll just put that in as a caveat, just to make sure people
But
know.
when I was travelling, and particularly at holiday times, the doggy lounge, as we call it, was always packed full of dogs, and I had this stories going through my head at that point, and although the Westie Face got that title, it was started off as a Westie Convention, because it was like a West Highland convention. There were so many West Highland Terriers
Ah, right.
and other breeds on the ferry travelling, so that was what gave me the idea for that first book.
Wonderful, wonderful, and it's obviously very successful. Isn't it?
It's going very well, yes, and thank you to everybody that's bought a copy and for all my lovely stockists
Ah.
on Arran and beyond.
So
And
where are these all available from? I mean,
Oh, I wish I brought my list with me. You mean on Arran, or do you mean wider? More
Well,
wider?
can you buy them online too?
You can buy them from me. I tried not to go the Amazon route. It was a personal choice really. I decided I would rather try and support small businesses and bookshops rather than go into Amazon. But as I tried to widen where I could be stock, my stock is.
Yeah.
I'm on a distributor now, so I've got Roman Books and Bertram's and people like that actually supply. So you can buy them on. If you Googled it, if you go onto Amazon, you can buy it from third-party suppliers. You can't buy it from me, but you can buy it from my
Direct from
website
you?
direct, or from all the places that stock it, and there's lots.
Oh.
So thank you.
And do you find when you're out and about with Corrie that people stop and like the children recognise the dog?
Do you know, it's
Stop
just
you in the
so,
street.
It's just so lovely. I think the nicest story was I was on Lamlash Green, and I stopped at the car park beside the chemist. I don't usually go to that one, but I stopped there, and then this couple came out with a Westie, and they came up to me and they went, because Westies people, dog people talk to dog people, but Westie people really talk to other Westie owners. And this lady came up to me and she said, "Oh, what's your dog called?" I said, "Corrie." She went, "You're not Alison Page of Corrie's."
Oh, wow.
Yes, I am. Anyway, it turns out that she had seen the book on sale in the Harbour Shop at Blackwater Foot online and had pre-ordered and come to Arran and was going up to Blackwater Foot to buy her copies of my book, which was just such a lovely moment for me. So it was
And
fab.
how does Corrie cope with all the fame? I mean,
Well, she
you
just
know.
laps it all up.
has she got her own? Is it on Facebook page yet? Or
She's got a Corrie's Capers Facebook page. I haven't got actually that many followers, so if anybody would like to follow me, I would be very appreciative of that. So,
Well, we're gonna be able to push people onto it now because we've got a quiz question for them, and we're offering the 2 books out. And what was your question you were going to ask?
How old's Corrie now?
How old is Corrie? How old is Alison's dog? If you can post that, we'll do it the quickest person to answer. Please turn Alison up, Mark is saying. I'll do my best.
I'll maybe move my seat forward a wee bit more.
That's fine. You're as maxed out as I can get you.
she's got a lovely gentle voice.
Just dropped my phone.
Sometimes.
And Dusty's got it. Oh no! Sorry about that.
That's all right. So we'll give we'll give the 2 books out to anybody that answers the question, how old is Alison's dog?
We could have 2
Corrie.
prizes because we have this, and this isn't available to everyone. Oh, what's your phone again? Sorry.
Stop it.
Um,
It never goes for phones.
the bag.
Yeah, okay. Well, you have to think up another question.
Oh.
Well, you'll think about that while we're doing it.
Name the Arran stockists.
Name the Arran, what, all of
The
them?
people, well, they could do that. You'll find it on www.westie.scot if they're that keen.
All right.
There you go. There you
Fair
go.
enough. So you haven't gone to Amazon then?
I haven't gone on.
Have you ever tried to open a selling account on Amazon?
No, I just.
I
decided
tried
didn't want
yesterday.
to do it.
I tried yesterday. They want everything from your passport to your bank statement. They want to see a bank statement. They want to see your passport. So I've gone through the process of it yesterday because obviously it's more important that my book on Canada gets out to Canada. So
Indeed.
the first stage is if you're doing a book, trying to get it on Amazon is a nightmare at the moment. Just to get. I'm going to take you into the other room.
Interesting.
It's very, very difficult. It's all got to do with the regulations involved in fraud and all that sort
Do
of
they
stuff.
own the
So-
rights once they've got your book? Somebody said to me that they actually have the rights to the book once you've done that. You can't get it back from them or something like
I'm
that.
not sure about that. I'm really not sure.
We're getting guesses now, 5 years and 8 years. Nope. You'll have to go on the website. And of course, if you go on the website and you're on your phone, then you're going to miss the rest
No,
of this.
don't go
this
off.
fun-
Don't go off this live feed for that.
You're going to
Definitely
you're
not.
going to miss this
I'll not be allowed on.
this dog-infested show that we've
Just
managed to
keep
give
guessing. Keep guessing. Keep guessing. So you're all over the. I mean, you're travelling in the mainland. You do a lot of mainland storytelling, and obviously on the island. In fact, my daughter who works at Lag had said she was there when you were in Lag Distillery, and it was a fantastic day. A lot of locals there too, and all the children had a fantastic. I think the adults had a fantastic time too. They were really enjoying it. And she's a really good storyteller. No, we're still getting 5 and 8.
5 and 8.
Oh, we've got a 10 and a 12.
No, well, no, it's just, no, you're just not doing the research.
But the other thing that I wanted to bring in was about the Mary's Meals, because the money that was raised, did that go towards Mary's Meals?
Okay, so when I started writing, I decided that I needed to cover my costs, because to produce a book, as you'll know, Graham, from your Canadian one,
Yeah.
it's really quite expensive. I didn't really know the outside.
I think the printing costs are quite reasonable.
Oh yeah, very reasonable. And beautifully done. Beautiful.
Well, let me put it this way, they are to me.
But I thought, right, I don't really want to do this to make money, but I have to pay people. I didn't want to ask people to do things for nothing. So, I pay my illustrator, pay my editor, I pay people that work with me, and obviously my printer, but people that produce it for me. But at the end of the day, I decided that if I didn't get left with a loft full of many, many books, that if there was any money to be made, I'd like to split it between Mary's Meals and funding the next book, so I could keep my young illustrator going and give people work. So so far I've donated over £5,000 to Mary's Meals.
Wow.
So it's been brilliant. It's been wonderful, but that's because of the sales that people have been buying the book. It's just been lovely.
So Mary's Meals, what exactly is Mary's Meals? Do you want to tell?
Yes, please. Well, it's a charity. Now, what is it? Their mission: every child deserves an education and enough to eat.
Oh, I know
Okay.
teachers that go in with packets of biscuits in their bag to supplement breakfast.
So school plus food gives hope. So basically, £15.90 is all it takes to feed a child for a whole year through Mary's Meals
Wow.
charity. So that's just gone up actually, thanks to Brexit and whatever else is going on, I would think. But anyway, if you haven't got any money, then if you share your skills or your knowledge or your prayers, if that's what you like to do. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful charity. At the moment, it's feeding 1.6 million children every school day across 18 countries.
Oh, that's superb. That's really superb.
I mean, I was really drawn to it because 93p, a minimum of 93p of every pound that's donated goes to the children, to charitable. So it's one of these charities that focuses very much on feeding and education. So it's one.
Well, children thrive. I mean, I know teachers that have said children come in and it's obvious they haven't had breakfast or they haven't had enough food. Whether it's by choice sometimes, but most of the case it's to do with just not having enough money for it. And the performance is they can't learn in the same way without being fed.
Well, you just can't concentrate.
No.
But these are chronically hungry children. It's I think Magnus McFarlane Barrow, who's the chief. He started all in Mary's Meals programme off, and it's just how should I put it? Although they're feeding 1.6 million children now, there's 64 million still starving.
I know.
So it's just good to be doing quite a lot about it.
Can I just ask you two to sit together and use Heather's microphone? We're just having apologies for the noise. I've tried turning that one up as far as I can, and it's not all sorts of things not quite working right today. But no, it's not. It's fine. It's just the microphone. So we've got a lot of other guesses here. We've had 5, 8, 5, 10, 12, 13 and 11.
None right so
And
far.
none of them are right. So,
right, so it's elimination. Think about it. What have we not had yet?
It can't be that hard, really. I mean, anyway, I'm sure somebody will get it fairly soon.
So, any more books on the agenda? What's coming next? Oh, exciting!
Book 3 is started.
Ooh.
When do I need to put you into a recruitment?
Well, I thought I had a storyline I liked, and I pay a professional, an editor, to work with me quite purposely, because when I decided to self-publish, I wanted the book just to be as good as it could be. So my start of book 3 was a false start. But I'm now at the stage where I think I've got a storyline I'm happy with, but I'm not going to share that quite yet in case.
Oh no!
But no, hopefully book 3 will be illustrated at least, if not out this year, and if not in time for the book festival, certainly for Christmas.
And who does the illustrations?
Kirsty Oxley,
All right.
who I met through a Facebook message onto the Edinburgh School of Art Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
I have to thank my hairdresser for that, Kirsty Luke, who when I said, oh, you know, I'm not sure I'm going to get this book sorted. I need to find somebody that will work with me that wants to work for charity. You know, they'll be paid a fee, but it'll be a set fee. So if we make any other things from this, you know, the money's to go to the charity in the next book. So Kirsty Oxley replied, as did several others, to my advert, and I selected her, and we worked very well together. I think I was probably an absolute nightmare for her, particularly in the first book, because I'd never done anything like this before.
Well, they're perfect for the book. They work so well. The illustrations are great.
Just let us know if you are having issues with any of us with sound. We've just had a message from Asia. I know I've been trying to turn everything up as high as I can at the moment, but
Can I get this closer to me if I move that there then? That work any better?
yeah, that's fine.
That's good.
Sorry.
It's fine. I've lost all my.
No.
Corrie is 4 years. No, Corrie's not 4 years. No, Corrie's.
Corrie spends a lot of time with the vet.
Yes, there's a clue. Yeah. There's a clue.
Can we mention this this lovely box? Or, I'm not sure what you would.
It's a travelling writer's desk. It doesn't matter where I go in schools, or actually I went to the Scottish Association of Writers conference, and the number of people that came up to me and said, oh, where did you get that? So it's a travelling writer's desk, and my darling husband John got it for me when I started writing. So it's like a wee briefcase, but it's like an old school desk.
And that would have had an inkwell.
Yes, and you open it up and I keep
Wow.
things in here. So yeah, it's lovely. It's just absolutely lovely, and it's very much a talking point when I go out, particularly with adults.
It looks like an old desk.
Yeah, it's an old,
I hate to admit this, but when I started school, we had desks like
Well, we
that.
didn't go far that back, but
But on a Friday, you used to
Certainly
get your
not with the
inkwell
ink.
filled up, and you.
oh, did you actually go to school with an inkwell?
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't actually get the inkwell filled. Did you, Graham?
Yes. No, I got the inkwell filled.
I don't
But you know
even-
the best thing about them, because they were on the angle and they had a wide edge, we used to have a thing we called them caps, some people call them capes.
Right.
You used to put them in, like they made a noise if you hit them, so you could row them along and then slam the lid down and it made a real big bang.
Most things make a noise when you hit them.
Yeah, but these were
It's a
designed to
special
go
noise.
off. These things were designed to go. You could do it with your thumbnail as well. You could make them go off.
Still not got any correct guesses in. You lot are rubbish.
Oh, come on! We need to start. We need to just keep going. Keep going. We need a winner. We need a
Right, now-
winner.
now
What
we're
numbers
gonna-
have we not used yet?
We're going to mention your little thing later on this year, but the one thing I do want to mention is go back to the news a bit. There was the drama festival last weekend.
Oh, I know. And
It's been hugely covered in the banner. There's lots of. There's a gallery of rogues, I think I would put it, because let's face it, Charles Curry's in there, and Sheila. And
some
so
wonderful
on, so,
photographs.
yeah,
Wonderful
that's good.
photographs.
Have you got
And
something?
need to get the banner. Yeah.
I know.
Of course, it's right. I should have had that open at the place. You got it.
No. But while you were looking for it, I was going to say there's another.
There. Whoa.
Yeah, go on.
So many awards there. And it's Thorburn as well. I think he's really coming on. He's been doing really well. I can't name them all. There's far too many. There is Charles Curry receives the Matty Gillis Trophy for Best Supporting Actor. Well done, Charles.
How did you manage that, Charles?
Well done. I didn't actually make it to any of it, but anytime I have got
I can't do it.
it's really
Ever
the
since-
standard is so high.
Ever since my dad was in Gilbert and Sullivan, and I got home one night and my mum was crying in her soup, and I said, "What's the matter?" She said, "Don't go to the Gilbert and Sullivan. Your dad is dressed in a grass skirt and a coconut bra," and she says, "I will never go. I will never go again." And I would never go anyway, but Dad used to be in the Gilbert and Sullivan here.
So that put you off acting for
They
life?
put me off. No, I've never really liked amateur dramatics. I always liked watching movies and stuff.
Oh,
You
I
know.
love going to the theatre.
Oh, no, I
I've been
can't.
good.
I
I didn't
can't
manage
do
the
it.
drama festival this year, but it's, I mean,
The standard
it was
is
I need-
fantastic.
I need a production to be completely slick, unlike this, unlike this. But I need all the editing.
And there's
all
so
that, you
many
know.
young ones in it.
But that's the admirable thing, is the kids are getting involved in it, and I think that's really good.
and,
it's
but
really
they're
good for them.
fantastic. They're
Because
really,
I think-
really
They're
good.
superb, and Sheila puts so much time, as do others, but I mean, the amount of work and the preparation involved is wonderful.
And the scenery is.
Charles is saying,
Yes.
apparently I got it for reading my lines as the narrator. So there you go. Thank you for admitting that. Well, fortunately, we have a winner,
Oh!
and it's the girl that took this lovely picture, and it is Natalie. So Natalie's
Oh, well done,
Oh,
Natalie.
Natalie, yeah,
fantastic.
15, admirable age.
Good for you.
Obviously got
Admirable age.
a good makeup routine, you know, it doesn't look that.
Yeah, I think Dusty will start going grey when he gets older. A lot of the dogs get, you know, they get grey muzzles and stuff. You know,
No,
speak of the devil.
The other thing, quickly, can I mention, it's in the banner and there's a lot more information in there, is the Springfest, which is on the 21st of March down at Balmickle, where all the new glamping...
Yep.
I keep calling them hobbit houses, but they're just so cute. They're
Well, you
lovely.
keep calling them hobbit houses, yeah.
And that's on between 12 and 4, and there's a lot of things happening there. They're going to have e-bikes, local foods, there'll be gin, I think.
It's just, I think
George
this is,
Grassi's got his bakery, and
this week has just started. Certainly, I've had the busiest week this year so far. I think it's just kicked off now that people are starting to get warmed up for Easter, and it is a shame this worldwide thing is causing such a big bit of concern at the moment. But people are just cracking on. I spoke to Jane Mack at the Aaron team because we've been doing their brochure this week, and she says the bookings are as good as ever. So
Oh, that's good.
hopefully people will come up and just enjoy it. Yeah, I'm dropping sound a wee bit as well. Did you hear that? Yeah.
Don't know, maybe
Anyway.
it's taking power. Oh, and there is a milk machine now in Bay Kitchen in Whiting Bay for the
Yes,
Arden milk.
there is. There should be another one. There's 3.
They've got the bottles
scheduled.
as well, so you can go and get the bottle.
There
and
are There are 3 scheduled. One's in Brodick at Market Road, one's at the Bay, and the other one, I'm not going to say unless somebody else wants to mention that they've got it, because I don't want to steal their thunder, but there is a third one coming. Certainly I've done 3 sets of stickers for them, so that's that. The other thing I wanted to mention to people, because they're not obviously aware, because I was down at work today, and that's the wine port is closed for the month. They are doing some refurb inside in the kitchens, I think. So they are closed until the end of March.
There's a sad face
there's
at
a-
the
there's a-
door.
No, because he's just going to go nuts. No, he never wants to come in. He just wants to sit out in there. He's a pain in the neck. So the wine port's shut for the month of March, and consequently everybody else is a lot busy. I tried to get down to the Little Rock yesterday and today, and it was
Really busy.
chock-a-block down there, what with ferry cancellations and stuff as well. So any mention of what's happening this year? Do you want to go into the...
I'd love to give.
Go on then.
Can I?
Yes,
Oh, good,
yes.
right. So there's been a large group of people, probably about 20 of us, working together on Wee Mac Arran, which is a children's book festival, which we are hoping to host on the Isle of Arran on the 11th and 12th of September this year.
Oh, lovely. Is that September weekend? No, it's before.
No, I don't think it is. No, I
No.
don't think it is that weekend, but it's part of the McClellan Festival.
Ah, right. That's why the weekend's ringing the
Yeah,
bell, because I
yeah.
usually am involved in that one. Yes, that's
Uh-huh.
good.
And we're under the umbrella of Arran Theatre and Arts Trust. So it's just absolutely fabulous. Heather Goff and Jan McGregor and huge number of people, school, library, lots of the primary head teacher Shirley McLaughlin, all have been meeting, and we have managed to do some wonderful grant applications and fundraising.
Ooh, well
although
done.
we're still looking for money if anybody's got any. And we plan to bring over some of Scotland and wider authors, storytellers, illustrators
Mhm.
to the
Fabulous.
island. Yeah,
Fabulous.
yeah, very
Story,
exciting.
storytelling
Good.
is just something that we need more of it.
Well, we just kind of feel that the children and the young people in Arran unless their parents take them over the weekend, they don't have the opportunity to go off the island and be part of a book festival. And I used to live in Edinburgh, and there's this thing about it's not for me. It's not. Is it always for everybody? Is it only those and just as such as those? But it's for everybody, and it's such I think in terms of literacy, it's such an opportunity for the island young folks and adults, families to come along. So very excited. In the schools on the Friday, in the nursery and the primary schools and secondary schools on the Friday, and then the Saturday we would hope people will come from all over, not just on the island but from anywhere to hear some of the finest people. Brilliant.
Adults, I find that, because I do a wee bit of storytelling, and adults sometimes they're just as involved in it. They love it.
It's fab.
Absolutely love it.
It is fab. And we're just working on the programme now. I have got a lot of lovely fab people. I just don't want to release it till we get the programme sorted.
No, that's
but
fine.
It really is going to be special. I really hope people will want to come.
Do you work at all with the Story Centre in the Storytelling Centre in Edinburgh?
I know where you are in the Royal Mile.
Yes.
Scottish Book Trust are going to be giving us some funding towards what we want to do, which is great for live literature.
Yeah, no, because they're fabulous. They're fabulous.
Right. You want to mention what are you doing this week? Are you playing twice?
Yes, I am actually.
I thought you might be.
Yeah, I'm playing in Crofters on Wednesday night. Yes,
and then,
Wednesday night. And then on Saturday we have our 9th event, which is Cosmic String Theory in the Armadale Pavilion, not the hotel, in the pavilion. It's a BYOB, a very informal group, and it's a fun night of psychedelic music and hippy dippy stuff. I haven't been since the 3rd or 4th one. I'll try and get down maybe. So it's the Armadale, and it's a bring your own bottle. Yes.
Cool.
And the doors open at 7:30. It starts at lift off, as we say. Is it?
Jeanette MacLeod is saying, great to see you here in Melbourne.
Oh, wonderful.
So we've got people all around the world again. America, South America, Australia. Might even have a couple of people watching from Aaron, you never know. My slight promotion is, don't think this is, well, it is, my book is out, but it's not out. The bulk of the copies of the Canada book are coming out on Friday. I think they're due up. The banner's going to cover it, I think, this week. So if you're one of those people that have been following my trip across Canada, that book is coming out at the end of the week. I do have a few copies here, but they're not for sale. So they're coming up probably Friday or Saturday. So that's my little bit. I want to thank Heather for framing my very first painting.
Is it? Can you see that?
Just in the background on the cookie there. The frame's actually better than the painting.
It's a very fine painting.
It's a paint by numbers that we're doing now this year, so I had to get one
actually
done.
turned out really well.
It was all right, actually.
Yeah, a bit of work went into that.
I hang it on the wall. It was a bit of work, thank you. Another bit of work is giving Alison a hard time. Dusty. Well, I think Dusty has decided that is all we have time for. Or patience for. Where's he gone now?
Where did the cookies go?
I put them in the utility room because he can't get in. He's doing the washing up now. We'll try and get him sorted out next week. Carter, you've got a little job for next week, that's for sure.
Same time, same channel?
Same time, same channel. We don't know where we'll be next week. We've got bookings now for the next 2 or 3 weeks again, haven't we? Mm-hmm. So the next week guests we may have elsewhere due to the nature of them. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to ignore him now.
And thank you so much, Alison, for coming in. That was
thanks for
lovely.
coming in.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Well done to Natalie for winning your books. We'll get those to you, Natalie, somehow. You can give me a buzz in the week and I'll post them down to you or whatever. And that is us. We've got a slightly satirical credits this afternoon, but I had to do something.
Yeah, well, we've been quite
We've been very well
behaved. We've been well behaved.
Yes, it could have been so much worse.
But yeah, this is. You need to watch this.
All right. Okay. We'll see you next week.
Bye now.
that what it is?
Yeah.
Is it as simple as it not being on?
Yeah. And yet it was peaking. It was peaking on the thing. I wondered halfway through whether it was on.
But then the acoustics in here are usually quite good, so...
Okay, it's no bad thing.